This is Richard Jacobs with MyDUIAttorney.org, and I'm here with Joshua Hale. He's a DUI and criminal attorney out of San Diego, and I appreciate Mr. Hale's time in doing this interview. Welcome, Mr. Hale. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks, Richard.
All right, so as not to waste time, I just want to get started on the questions right away. So the first question is, how many DUI cases have you handled, and in what time period?
I'm going to preface this with saying there's a lot of DUI attorneys that the first thing they say is I've handled thousands upon thousands, and I've done it in a very short time period. My office has handled several hundred, and that's been in a 4-year time period. I've been a practicing attorney for 5 years. The reason I wanted to preface what I said is because it's not how many cases you handle so much as do you have good results. My office has had very good, whether it's luck or skill, we've had good results.
Okay.
I know a lot of attorneys that handle loads and loads of these things, and basically all their cases have the same result. Insofar as what that result is, I'll let you figure it out on your own.
Okay. And for every client that calls you, do you take every client, or are you pretty selective?
I wouldn't say that I'm pretty selective. I don't take every client. There's some cases where I don't think that it's of value or benefit to the client for me to take their case. And I'm very blunt in that. I'll tell the client, look, this case is not necessarily a case that I would think that we would have good results. And then I basically let the client decide. It's not that I say, I'm not going to take your case. That's not really the way it works. It works more in a manner of saying, I don't think this is a real great case to take for these reasons. I can take your money and I can take you to court. I can get you through the process, but the problem with that is we may not have real great results based on this fact, and this fact. Because of that, I think I'm selective insofar as I tell the client really what to expect. Some attorneys don't do that. They're so hungry for the next case what really tends to be is the next ATM withdrawal.
Right.
I think that they're not fair to the future clients. They don't tell the future clients if it's a good case to work on or not. They just say, what's your credit card number? And I don't do that. I don't think that's fair to my clients, and I don't think that's fair to my reputation.
Okay. That's a good answer. Do your clients need a DUI specialist, in your opinion?
I go back and forth on this, quite honestly. There's some attorneys out there that are DUI specialists that they're great. They're people that I would recommend my clients go to if they were not going to go to me. And there's the attorneys out there that get the DUI specialist certification because they want more clients. They do it basically because they know they can charge more for the same service. Most of the time, I would say you want an attorney who you trust. What their titles or certifications are really irrelevant. If you do not trust your attorney, if you do not feel good about your representation, then you need a new attorney. The title that he has or the certification that he or she has is a way to make you feel comfortable, and it's a way that you're likely going to feel better about your representation just purely for the certification. However, that doesn't mean that they're going to represent you in a manner that you feel comfortable with. Talk to your attorney. Talk to them. Let them know what you want, what you expect out of the representation.
Okay.
And they're going to answer you. They're going to answer you in a way that either makes you feel comfortable or in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable. If they make you feel uncomfortable, go on to the next guy. Go on to the next lady who makes you feel that you're going to be represented fairly.
Okay, fair enough. And at your firm, who actually goes to court for your clients' cases? For your cases?
Absent something drastic happening, I have never missed a court date myself. There are attorneys out there that's not the same. I go for every single client. I go for every single case. And one thing I can tell you about my caseload and the way I work with my office is you're not going to have me dealing with 20 DUIs in the same day.
Okay.
I go to court for my clients, and I go for one client at a time. If I have two clients on the same day, I will reschedule one of them because I don't think they're getting my full attention.
Okay, good. So the client's not going to call you and you're going to say, "Who's this again?" So that's good. That's good to hear. Does your office handle only DUI, or do you do other areas of law?
We don't handle only DUI, and that goes back to DUI specialists. DUI specialists, the way their certifications work is they can handle only DUI.
Oh,
What happens when you have a case where it's a DUI and you happen to have your gun collection in the car, or let's say you happen to have something that's illegal on top of the DUI? Does that mean they can't represent you, or does that mean that they're not going to be able to represent you to the best of their ability? It's saying something. What it's actually saying, I can't really say, but I can tell you my office is equipped to handle your case, whether it's a DUI, whether it's a criminal charge, or whether 2 years from now and you have another type of case, you can call me and say, "Hey, Mr. Hale, Josh, I have a divorce, I have a small business litigation, I have something else happening in my life. I've got a good relationship with you. Can you handle my other case?" And I can very easily say, "Yes, I can handle whatever you need. And if I can't handle it, I'll find who can."
okay. All right. Turning back to DUI specifically, is there any typical DUI defendant? Are there more men than women, or more first-time offenders?
I think you're going to find that there's a lot of first-time offenders, and you're going to find beyond that a plethora of type of people. You're going to find people that are what I would say are just like you and me. They're fine, upstanding individuals that are professional, and they're not out there to do something wrong. They're not out there to do something that is illegal. That's not what their intent was at the start of the day.
Okay.
They got caught maybe doing something they shouldn't have been doing, but that doesn't mean that they're a bad person. In terms of the standard client, beyond a lot of them being first-time DUI defendants, there's really no defined characteristic. It's not that you're going to find lots of men, lots of women, lots of 18-year-olds, lots of 45-year-olds. I've had everything from kids fresh out of high school that are not 21 yet, and they have other issues because they're not 21, to people that are like you and me, professionals, to airplane pilots that if they get a DUI, they're going to lose their ability to work because they lose their license. I've had military DUIs that they're also looking at non-judicial punishment, NJP. There's as many different DUI defendants as there is anything else in the world, and the neat part or the sad part about it is my office is able to handle any type of DUI defendant, but we're also there because we understand it's not just one type of person. We're going to try and work on your case on an individual basis.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And this may be I don't know if this is a good question, but I mean, what percentage of your clients have blood alcohol levels that are close to the legal limit versus much higher than that?
You're going to find that there's a lot of DUI defendants that are right at 0.07, 0.08, 0.09. And prosecutors aren't going to just let you go because you're just 0.01 point under the legal limit. That's their job is to, I guess their job is to make life as miserable as possible for people, whether they're actually committing a crime or not, because if they're under 0.08, they may not be driving under the influence legally. In terms of everything else, it's pretty rare to find people that are above, say, 0.15, 0.20. That means someone is really probably pretty inebriated, even under the circumstances. Somebody at 0.08 blood alcohol may not be.